Right. Okay, so if you choose to log on later, just starting a few minutes early. I'm waiting for people to join. We should be starting at 10 o'clock. Thank you. If you're watching this after the fact, this should start in a few minutes. Hey, Ron.
How's it going, brother?
It's going all right. I'm just waiting on Nonya to log on.
Right on. I'm getting set up here myself. All right, here we go. Charlie blow me today.
It's a few minutes early, so.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right.
Oh, where's my water? Hold on. What is our topic of discussion today?
I mean, maybe it lives in New York, so you ask her what's going on there. Otherwise, wait. I'm trying to figure out why I'm echoing.
Maybe you're stuck in a space-time continuum.
Maybe.
It's always a possibility.
All right. Does that sound better?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my. Okay.
All right, well, whatever. We'll just do it. But they can tell us things about, like, how New York feels right now, everything that's going on. Every garbage thing Trump continues to do. There's Goya. There's,
Right.
how
This is
people
like current events.
doing live comedy, what they could fix about that.
Okay. And when people are commenting, make sure to read some of the comments off. Because like Jeff Keller was trying to bust Michael Moratore's balls about something he said that was wrong last week, or the last one.
Well, the problem with the Instagram one was you guys were so far away, and it was so hard for me to get your attention.
Oh.
Because I was trying to read off comments.
Right.
As a comment, but I also didn't want to be too rude or too Fox Newsy with talking over people.
Yeah, no, that kind of adds the funny to it. Next time, just say something like, I have a comment for you, Ron, and then, you know what I mean, introduce it in.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that leads to, it adds the dynamic. It adds another layer to it. That's fun. Your microphones be cheap. How does my sound?
You sound all right, but I hear myself through your computer. So I don't know if that can be fixed, but whatever, we're just going to go with it.
Right, okay. Yeah, it's fucking hot in here today, man. That helps. So what you been up to?
I've just nothing too exciting. I've just been working, trying to figure out how to do some streaming shows in a way that I can try to make money, not so much to survive, but to build a fund towards actually producing physical shows that can happen in the future.
Right, okay. That'd be cool.
So
yeah, it's just writing, camera crew, you get it, man.
Well, there's one thing I've noticed. There's one thing I've noticed with people doing live stuff. Like, I get that you lose part of some of the expression when people can't see your mouth. But I feel like when people can't see your mouth on stage, but I feel like people should just wear masks anyway on stage. Since Trump's making it such a political statement, wear a mask. It's safe. If it doesn't do anything, fine. If it does do something cool, because you can hear people through the mask, and your mic projects, so it doesn't really matter if you're inside if you're wearing a mask on stage.
Right.
You might lose something, but you should expect things to be different now.
I would say that the better solution is to, or another solution would be to have people further back from the stage, so the artist, which you're there to go see perform, can perform as you're going to see that person perform, and make sure that the audience is kept safe. Past say 10 feet instead of 6 feet, 12 feet, or whatever. That just big. And make sure that the people are separated equally, or around the place, as they're supposed to be, because everyone's going to be talking and laughing, right? So like talking with some of the guys that I know that work at like the Comedy Store and such, they're going to have to address that, and the CDC and all the Dr. Fauci type thing is, just as long as there is a distance, a certain distance between the person who's speaking and the audience, then that's being adhered to. The issue is that just like with singing in a choir, the water vapor travels further than if just talking or eating. And so you need to compensate for that also, and then of course ventilation is another thing. And everyone in the audience, by the way, should be wearing a mask, unless they're taking a sip of some drink or they're eating some food or something like that, or don't even, whatever. But that, I think that I think that that's more of a. I mean, that's having a that's horrible stand up. I don't see how that would work.
I don't know. I get that, but
you're covering person's expression. It's half the joke. If you're it's go to Zoom. You know what I mean? Put people in a medically safe distance. Put a sheet of fabric, a thin mucilage, or something like that, if you want to help divide whatever you want to do. There's a million different ways to work around, just like people are having to work around in work environments where there's a lot of talking and everything like that. Schools, it's all going to be the same thing, If you're going to be, not trying to get into the debate of how soon you should open schools. I mean, we're not handling this, but when you are supposed to be able to open a comedy club back up is when things control. We don't have that, so it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
the government's not going to let us open a comedy club right now. It's not going to happen.
No, I get that.
And so, so it's like, and the only time, and that's why I'm so frustrated, because the only time that they're going to allow us to open a nightclub or start doing shows again, really, is when we have the pandemic under control, and we will be treated just like a school or, public place, nightclub, all that other stuff, bars, restaurants, all that falls under comedy club. When you think about it, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, that's understandable because, like, you think about like profit margin and making money. It's almost impossible to have to restrict the amount of people for safety, so it doesn't really make it fiscally worth doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's always worth it's always worth to go see a good comedian. Chappelle will always be worth going to see. Bill Burr is amazing and definitely worth going to see. And people. I wish that I was able to say I saw Richard Pryor perform. I'm blessed that I got to be able to see Paul Mooney perform. You know what I mean? So it's like it's you can't replace live comedy. You just can't. It's its own thing. You'll never be able to. And the whole cancel culture is just not gonna work anyway. It's just stupid. It's you're never going to be able to eradicate people. And so it's
I'm trying to see if this camera person. All right, cool. We got Nonya. Let's see. Hey, I'm gonna unmute you.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right. We got our guest. I'm gonna bring them on. All right. Cool. All right. So. All right. I know. Yeah.
Were we recording this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Okay. I thought we just shoot shit. All right.
Okay. Ron apologizes for all of his views. All right. Let me get my sound. I'm gonna let Nonye talk, and so there's less I can do.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to see everybody better.
There we go.
How do you there we go. Oh,
that's better.
Here we go. All right, there you go. Okay, I see you now. Oh boy. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. It's a little heat wavy here in Los Angeles, but I'm doing good. I started going back to the gym, over the past not too long now, so I'm getting back in shape. Getting ready for them to shut the entire country back down. Due to mismanagement, but we're not going to talk about that exactly now. And I'm pleased to have you on our Defund Amerikkka podcast. So you please introduce yourself to all the people out there, the new fans.
So I'm Noye Brown-West. I have a terrible echo on my mic, but
we've all been having sound issues.
Yeah, why is my mic?
Yeah, mine was. I think.
Maybe take the headset off. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Is this better?
That's good.
The same.
Yeah, okay.
All right, whatever. I'm a stand-up comic. Why is it?
Putting this and putting this again.
Oh. Yeah, but it's not. Hold on one second. I just figured something out. But it was doing it when it was just. Yeah, no, it's still doing it. Yeah, Yeah.
Is it-
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on, let me exit and then come back in. I feel like,
Okay.
yeah.
No problem.
Okay. Is that better?
That's much better. How's that?
Okay. All right. I think that sounds a little better.
Seems like it on this side.
Okay. All right. I'm still hearing an echo, but I'll ignore it. All right. So, yeah, 10 o'clock. And I've been doing like the activism stuff for the last like few months. That's been all right. In New York, we didn't really see much. And how about LA? I was trying to follow. I don't think I found out.
What do you mean by with comedy or with the virus?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I mean with defunding police departments and things like that. Like the things that we were trying to
Oh yeah.
protest.
You know, they're trying to. Our mayor is trying to make some moves. They announced that they're going to put, and I'd have to Google the amount, but it seems like a reasonable amount of money to, when I heard it, to have social services type people answer nonviolent calls instead of police officers, and
Oh, that's good.
yeah, and so there does seem to be some pretty significant change that's happening across the country, to be honest with you. Yeah, I would have never have expected to see the demographics of the riot of the protesters that we've been seeing in the streets, and so that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's cool. I didn't hear about the social services thing, but instead of that's pretty cool. In New York, we were supposed to have some of the funding go to social services actually, but it didn't really happen. They pretty much they took away some of the police funding, but put it into police funding under a different name. So they kind of just tricked everybody, bamboozled us, basically.
Oh geez, yeah. I think it's everyone has to vote better. There's no other way around it at this point. And it's not just with the presidential election, but it's for like the council people. It's for the judges. You know what I mean? It's that's where we have our problems. That's where the system doesn't work for minorities in particular, because these right-wing racists are being installed. So when you get into the judicial system, they're the first line of defense against us being treated equally. And just like with corrupt, just like with the brutality that you're seeing in police departments across the country because of cell phones, it's not like
Hello?
it just started.
I can't hear.
Uh-oh. Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but occasionally it's causing your audio is dropping out periodically.
Oh, mine is dropping out?
Well, Ron says I can hear you. It's on something Ron said.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Well, what I was saying is just like with the police system and the judicial system, you have these judicial people to prison unnecessarily and through the lens of discrimination. And so, I just hope that, we all vote better. Are you originally from New York?
No, I'm originally from the South, but I grew up in Massachusetts. From like my tweens up, I guess I could call it. But yeah, the council people.
What part of the South are you from?
What?
What part of the South are you from?
I was born in Montgomery, Alabama. I lived in Salisbury, Maryland. After that, Delaware. My parents are Nigerian, so we moved around a lot. They were professors that we moved around a lot because they were professors kind of find a place where we like we fit. We never found it. It's America. So,
Right.
So,
what how long have you been, and what called you to be a stand-up comedian? You know, we're very unique. And why?
Oh, my parents were big comedy fans. One of my earliest memories was watching stand-up. Richard Pryor, was very young. My parents have always been fans. So I think it was mostly into it without realizing it. Parents push you into a lot of different directions, but that was one of the directions they pushed me in. I started, I think like 8 years ago. Maybe. I think like 8 years ago now. Yeah, 8 years ago now, I think.
Right on. Very cool.
Very cool. Thought about that.
When let me ask you, when you talk about like when you have things like the Me Too movement right now, I'm gay as well, and so my lens is being African American and being gay, and when I look at the issues surrounding equality for women, and I was raised by saying how strong women are and what they do in our society. How do you feel the greater Me Too movement could further improve or further improve the images of strong Black women of various backgrounds or whatever have you?
But can you repeat that? It cut up right at the end.
No problem. How do you think that the Me Too movement could help further improve the system and their issues with families and stereotypes and all that?
Keep women of color, people of color.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I did cut out again right when you were asking.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Ron, try muting your mic temporarily.
Wait, what did you say?
What was that?
I think it echoes on his end. So if you just mute it when Nonye is talking and then unmute yourself to talk.
Okay. Okay. All right. So. Oh yeah, the echo did go right now. All right.
Oh yeah, the echo did go right now. Oh no, I didn't hear you.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. The Me Too movement, that's interesting because it was started by a black woman, and it was a black woman movement at first, and then it was co-opted by white women who kind of like took it the way they white women have taken a lot of things like but I mean, I think it's a movement that everybody needed, no matter what your race. It's a movement that but I feel like as it gets popularity, the people who started it, we started to be erased by these other faces. I don't know. It's very interesting. I think the Me Too movement, a lot has come from it. There are discussions being had, but ultimately I kind of think it failed. Especially when you see people, rising up against cancel culture. Because that's what I mean. Cancel culture started in the news because of Me Too recently. I actually saw a really interesting comment from somebody about how cancel culture has always existed for Black people and immigrants, and now that it's starting to happen to white people, all of a sudden it's
now that it's starting to happen to white people, all of a sudden it's a negative
when it happened to us, it was about
when it happened to us,
it was about oppressing us and keeping us down. When it's happening to them, it's about them not oppressing people and not keeping people down. And now it's now cancel culture is a bad thing.
Now cancel culture is a bad thing.
So I don't know.
So
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
What are your thoughts of the cancel culture in particular?
I think it's the way that it's going now is great, and I think it should continue. I think people should be afraid of acting in ways that are negative against minority groups that are already oppressed, and I think that's how it's being used now. I think it's a good thing, and I think people should examine the ways that they act professionally. It's weird that we have to have a conversation with people about not acting certain ways professionally. I think they should already know not to do those things. How do you feel about it?
Yeah. I think I agree. I think there's two sides of the coin. People, you're always going to have people that say and do and are just nasty, horrible people. You look no further than the White House for that, And so there's a part as people that strive for equality, focus on empowerment and equality. Because when people are empowered, when they have the right of education, when they
I lost.
I think Ron's speech has just been canceled, but
oh no, Ron.
Yeah, I don't know if he's frozen.
Yeah, he's
He's
frozen.
back. Sort of.
I think he just had.
Yeah, he's
I'm trying to still figure out this echo. I don't know what's going on. Select sound device, headphones. Yeah, okay.
I don't think that goes on your end.
Oh yeah, it definitely was on Ron's end because when he just left right now, it stopped.
Okay, anyways, so if he rejoins, he rejoins. If not, I guess we'll. How have you been feeling?
I've been okay. It's been all right. I'm getting back into doing shows and stuff, which is making me feel more normal. I had a weekend this weekend where I went and saw some friends of mine because one of them's moving. That made me feel a little bit more normal too. Yeah, I'm coming out of the like sadness funk that all the police brutality stuff has been causing for everybody. So that's cool, I guess. Are you coming out of yours, or are you still?
I mean, I don't know. It's weird because I've not a whole lot's changed. I've just been.
How's this going? Still jumping.
Okay.
I don't know why. Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, let me try muting you for a moment, and then I'm gonna unmute you. Yeah. All right. So, wait, are you frozen, Naya?
Me? No, I was just looking.
You're just.
I was just very still.
Well, like I've been. I mean, not a whole lot. I've been kind of like stuck in a weird like bubble where I get all my information about what's going on with protests and everything through Instagram stories and the little bit that gets covered on the news, which isn't much. And then I'm just at work. And so I'm in a weird kind of bubble where nothing really has felt like it's changed since the lockdowns have begun.
Yeah, not much has changed, I gotta say. Budgets are being examined and people realize that they're probably gonna get voted out now, but I just don't think enough has changed, which is really sad. Uh, but yeah, I don't know what else we're supposed to do. Now I'm just gonna focus on the vote, and I'm gonna keep trying to, sign those petitions that who knows if they even work, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I've
feel
just been
you,
looking
though.
at people trying to do live shows, and some of them just seem like not worth people's time
The
and
risk.
effort.
Yeah.
Like
and the rest.
Well, beyond like risk, I saw one where it's run by people who run comedy club who I don't appreciate without saying their name just because they ripped me off financially. But
I know
that they don't help other people and do similar things to other people. And so I don't feel people should be helping them try and get out of the lost wages due to COVID when they haven't changed any of their business practice of how they actually treat artists or producers.
Actually, without saying too much, I can tell you that a lot of comics are banding together to write an open letter to the owner of that system of clubs about just their grievances with like how they book and financial things and things like that. So something's happening like that against them right now, and I don't want to say too much about it. But yeah,
that's good. It should have happened a while ago.
Yes, I agree. All right.
All right. Did you want to try to do any comedy in this?
Nah, I like the conversation. I like it.
All right,
cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wait, Ron, let me unmute you because your mouth's moving, but wait. Oh, no, wait, you have to unmute yourself because it says once I mute you on this program, you have to unmute yourself. I can mute you, but I can't unmute you.
Oh, you're unmuted now, I think.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm going to mute myself, cut down on some of the echo so that you can talk.
Oh, yeah, let me mute. Yeah, I'm going to mute me as well.
Okay. Yeah, I just wish that we had better connections at our time. It sounds like I missed a lot of a great conversation, and I came in to the tail end of a great conversation. So anybody who's watching this, these people are amazing. Okay, she's a great guest, and I heard you talking about comedy club payment and that kind of thing. Without having to go back into that, what are you hearing in New York about when if and when we're ever able to start performing in comedy clubs? What is that, or comedy venues? What is that sounding like with you guys over there?
So that's already started. The comedy clubs that have outdoor areas, they've already started having shows again. There's a very popular show that wasn't out of a club. It was a bar show that recently moved to a different bar in Manhattan, and they had an indoor show last week, which I think is a terrible idea. But the person who runs that, he's not really a comedian, so I don't think he realizes how bad of an idea that was. But yeah, so the venues that have outdoor spaces have already started having shows again, which is kind of cool. And I've actually started booking some road work again already scheduled for August. So we'll see if that ends up being a good idea or not. I'll figure that out.
Where were you booking to travel to?
Oh, actually local for a fundraising event.
Oh, right. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know when we're going to go back on the road. I mean, California is completely exploding right now. Vegas, which is, Nevada, is exploding right now. Phoenix, which is Arizona, obviously exploding right now. Texas. I haven't checked Portland but Utah, which I go to all the time, is like, I mean, I just don't know when we're going to be able to actually start doing shows again, because, this is just, I mean, it's being handled like in such a horrible way. What's going on in New York is where the rest of the country should be right now. Here we are. I don't get it.
So it's interesting too because New York is doing great. Most of New York is doing great, but then for 4th of July, the Hamptons, that people went down to Fire Island in the Hamptons, and now those populations, the COVID numbers are exploding in those populations. So yes, we're doing well, but just as you said, people reopen too early, and I feel like there's gonna be a wave in places that have flattened the curve already. I'm worried about that. Yeah.
Oh, Ron, unmute yourself. I muted you while Noe was talking because of the echo.
I feel hilarious for all these people that are so fucking pretentious and privileged that they're going to go to the courthouses with their guns to demand that they don't wear face masks because it's their freedom. And I'm like, motherfucker, you don't even know what lack of freedom is. Shut the And that mindset, there's so many people that just don't want to wear a mask. And at this point, I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck what your belief is. Just wear the goddamn mask. That's what the law is right now. You follow all these other laws. You stop traffic lights. You pay your taxes. Just shut the fuck up and let us get through this, please. It's such an unbelievable time period right now, and the selfishness when it seems like isn't benefiting us. That's for damn sure. I'm just frustrated, I guess. But
I agree. I agree. It's just such a simple thing that people have to do, and they just go into stores despite the staff that they have to wear the mask. It's a terrible decision. And now they're shocked that the ICUs are completely full. So I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. As a first generation person, I started seeing the worst of America at a very young age, and so none of this really surprises me. But it makes me sad, and I don't see America getting to the point that the rest of the world is already at anytime soon, and that's sad. But I don't know. I don't even know what it's going to take because so many people have died already, and a lot of people still don't care. I don't know.
History's really going to be. We're living through a very interesting point in time. We have kids in cages. That's right, these kids in cages. Oh. You know what I mean? This Black Lives Matter. Oh yeah. Oh God, that was horrible. Oh, no school shooting. Oh my God. Oh, just horrible. Oh, but like literally nothing gets done about it.
Nothing is done about it.
It looks like there's some movement with right now, but how far will it go? There just still hasn't been any gun control laws. The only reason we haven't had a school shooting is because we haven't had goddamn school. It's insane. It's just the amount of political cowardice and the amount of inaction coupled with just bald ass ignorance. Just ignorant, dumb ass motherfuckers out there. I'm sorry. There was like an uptick of calls to poison control, asking if it's bleach. Motherfucker, if you don't know, if you are not smart enough to know that number one, he's a lying sack of shit. Number two, don't care and just bleach. What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
What
that
are
should
we
be
doing?
America's new
That should
slogan.
be America's new
What are we
slogan.
doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Honestly,
Honestly,
It's like the
I
same,
don't know.
sorry.
you know, the same people, like if they have a heart attack or if they have to take some type of medicine, they have to get a prescription for something, an infection or something like that. They're like, oh, doc, what do I have to do? Okay, yeah. And they do it. But now it's like, you have a doctor saying, listen, all you gotta do is put on a mask, man. You sit your ass at home for like 3 months and shut the fuck up. Oh, you're taking my freedom.
I know. It's so ridiculous. But it all came down from the president, because I don't even like calling him that. From 45, from Trump, that piece of shit. It came down from him, because as soon as he started saying, I'm not going to wear the mask, that's when all these idiots started saying it too. And it was just a wave of stupidity. And I just hate that he has any influence, because how can anyone in their right mind? But he does. He's like a cult leader. He's a cult leader. And now he has the blood of over 100,000 people on his hands. He doesn't seem to care about it. He doesn't care. Terrible person. But
Yeah, no, he totally is a cult leader. He's totally like Jim Jones. Like when Trump leaves office, if he moves to some small island in the middle of the Pacific and starts handing out punch, I guarantee there'll be 500,000 motherfuckers there. It's sad, but it's true. I think and I don't want to sound callous about this, but whenever somebody says I don't want to sound callous about this, they typically do. So here we go. Here's my shot at not sounding callous while selling people. At a certain point.
I mean, so I read some I think it was like an article from, oh no, it started as a tweet. All these articles on like the Huffington Post and like New York Times, they just steal them from tweets now. But anyway, there was a tweet where somebody said the reason you can't talk to a Trump supporter in a rational way is because no matter what he does, because now we know he's a pedophile, we know all sorts of bad, horrible things about him. No matter what he does, they're still going to like him because of the freedom he gives them to be pieces of shit. That's why they vote for him. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about the kids in cages. They don't care that he's a pedophile. They don't care that he's a terrible president. They don't care that he's killed over 100,000 people by being a terrible president. They just care that they can be pieces of shit peacefully now. And they don't have to answer to anybody. And that's very, very scary. That's very scary.
I agree with that 100%. He empowers them to be disgusting human beings. They feel disempowered. They have no control in their own lives. They're not willing to look at the mistakes they've made in their own lives and how they can self-improve themselves so they can feel better looking at these other people suffer because they feel that these people are not as good as they are. And it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is crazy.
And all these fake woke, and even worse is all these fake woke people out there. Now it's all these fake woke ass motherfuckers. Like, you know what? Educate yourself. Thank you. Welcome to Black History. Welcome to America. Welcome to the struggle. Now, how would you come over here and educate yourself before you continue to talk shit you don't know what you're talking about? And there's one jackass that a friend of mine, on Facebook today, which is honestly defund Facebook. I mean, my God, it's just
Agreed.
it's just trash. It's just trash. But this woman with brother too, talking about Kanye West would be a good president. Oh, he was lost your motherfucking mind. He's a black businessman. He's a billionaire. I was like, Kanye West.
Yeah, and the reason Kanye even said he's running is to try to take votes away from Biden, which is ridiculous because the only people that would vote for Kanye are Trump supporters.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to tell Quasi. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? First of all, Kanye West sold his people out on numerous occasions now. He consistently exhibits mental health issues that are not becoming of a president. By the way, we're in the middle of a fucking global pandemic, a global recession, and this motherfucker sells clothes, and albums, and maybe some real estate jewelry. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's the Ross Perot of our time, definitely, for sure. But even Ross Perot had some good ideas. I remember as a kid being like, "Hey, some of the stuff he's saying actually makes sense financially. Some of his financial planning made sense. I don't trust Kanye to have any plans that make sense. He's already announced that he's against abortion. He's against healthcare. I mean." The fact that we're even discussing what his platforms are right now is hilarious.
It's just, I just hope that we as a society, we look at this dick-faced asshole that's in office right now, and we understand what government is all about after this. You know what I mean? Because, black people and brown people, we've had to navigate government for what it really is for a very long time. And I hope now people are starting to see like, oh, yeah, actually, there is a difference.
Yeah.
Obama you may not agree with every policy of Obama, but he was a beautiful man with a beautiful family who, regardless of, again, if you're a Republican, Democrat, or independent, or whatever, it doesn't matter, you can at least tell he gave a fuck about the goddamn country.
That's true.
You didn't get that. That's true. Yeah. George W. Bush did not, George W. Bush, who we thought was going to be the worst president of a generation, ironically, right? I remember when George W. Bush was the worst president ever. Now I would take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of the things that Trump has done. Oh, he's gone.
I think he accidentally. He meant to mute himself and accidentally bumped himself out.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Well,
man. Are we, so will we wrap up at like 11?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to go beyond that. I think there's been enough like technical difficulties and meandering that we shouldn't go beyond that. Hello, Ron again. But back to one point that I would make, that it's not just about Kanye, but I'd be fine with the president having mental health issues if they weren't anti-psych meds, which Kanye is, and blame. So if they were pro-psych meds and pro-antidepressants for people who those do actually benefit, and they were taking them and had mental health issues, then I'd be totally fine with a president with mental health issues. And that's that.
Yep, I agree with that. I do agree.
Yeah,
if Kanye took his medication, he would be a better person.
Right, and by the way, if you're on your meds and you're under the proper care and you're caring for yourself and taking care of yourself and you're healthy, you won't know that you don't need to know that a person's on their meds.
Exactly.
I mean, the difference is when you're a fucking asshole. You know,
And who's to say he wouldn't still be an asshole even if he took his meds? But
he's
but
an
at least
asshole. He's an asshole. Anyway.
Clearly.
Yeah, he kind of out of his fucking mind, you know. And I think that, but to go to his brother's point a little bit deeper, though, I think that it is important that we continue to highlight minority-owned businesses, minority women-owned businesses, minority LGBTQ plus owned businesses in the communities that they are. On a regular basis, somehow celebrate these different businesses throughout the year, so people can give can know that they're there and traffic them and give them their money, because it's those businesses that makes our country diverse and strong and thrive. Matt, what do you think?
I mean, I can't really be against what you just said. I mean, this is all about defunding white America. I'm just here to try and create a platform.
Okay, so Matt, as a white man, okay, and for the people that are watching this,
I'm fine with following and having less access.
Interesting. What do you think, Matt, about white privilege?
Well, like, is it real? It is.
No, not if it's real. Just like, how do you think that? Actually, good question. How do you think that white America could deal with white privilege?
I think I think they'd like to deny its existence rather than admit that they're really scared it's going to get taken away.
Right. How about you? Where did you go? I can't see you now.
Oh, me?
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. What do you think? Hold on, I'm having okay, whatever. What do you think white America could do to combat systemic racism and white privilege?
Oh, there's so much. First of all, you would have to start with the prison system. A lot of the nonviolent offenders in there need to just be let go. Actually, I would say all of them, to be honest. Nonviolent offenders. Prison system, redlining, education, so many things. There's just so many systems in place already that are very obviously racist that could just be done away with tomorrow. Electoral college, all of them. And at the beginning of this current Black Lives Matter movement that we're in, there, you could tell that it was moving in that direction where people were like, oh, like, we're going to re-examine this. Like, we're going to accept resumes from people of color. Like, even I, as a comedy writer, I noticed, like, all of a sudden there were way more opportunities for me at the beginning of this movement. Things that clearly, CAA or whatever agency was just not sharing with anyone except for their white their white clients. But I don't know. I can tell that people are trying. Actually, I did read that the Electoral College is going to change their methods now, but they just shouldn't even exist. It's going to take probably another 100 years for all the systemic racism in America to be done away with, and I don't think that it ever will be, because why would the majority race want to give up the power they have? They don't want to. And America is just such a shitty place, and it's never been a great country, and it's probably going to continue to be a shitty, not great country for a very, very, very long time. And it might slowly get better and better. But then it'll just all be taken away again. I don't know. I'm very pessimistic right now. Maybe I wasn't the right person.
No, I loved your answer. That's fantastic. So I think a lot of people share your feelings exactly, and I definitely have those feelings as well. I think that white people and white America, you know, they need to. I think they found their buzzword, and it's, believe it or not, buzz phrase, and believe it or not, I believe it's socioeconomic disparity by Bernie Sanders, right? And now you can see the police brutality. So there is now a tangible way for white America to be able to see this type of discrimination, especially since white women want the Me Too and the pay equality and all these things that they've been fighting for so long. And the bang up wonderful job that the LGBTQ community did and continues to do in its fight for equality. So I think by all of this equality push, Black Lives Matter is kind of the next in line. I hate to use that phrase, but that's what it seems like is happening. And all these different disadvantaged groups are supporting it. So I think that that's a good thing. Again, where it goes, I don't know. You know, I'm not expecting utopia. But you know, kind of going to what you're saying about these new opportunities, there are more opportunities out there that seem to be revealing themselves, and so let's just keep being active and make sure that we uplift everybody and you know, really work hard after this election. First of all, vote after this election, midterm vote. But in between that time, really work to help heal the Black and brown communities in a meaningful way, starting with pay gaps, healthcare, and those poor children in the cages.
Oh yes, the children in cages has to be.
That's a devastating thing. That's going to be. Yeah. Those kids are going to need help for years, for decades.
Yes.
The kids in cages definitely need to be priority. And Biden still hasn't even talked about that being part of his platform, which is crazy. I feel like Biden just feels like he doesn't have to say anything because no matter what he doesn't say, it's better than anything Trump is saying. But like, I don't know. That might be a good tactic. Who knows? We saw what happened with Hillary, so maybe that's a good tactic.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good tactic. I also don't think it's a good tactic that the rest of the Dems, if they're going to throw all of everything into Biden being the one to push, that most of them through all of COVID, through all of COVID, they've just stayed mostly quiet, occasionally tweeting something, but not doing much to lobby for people. They're not doing really much to talk about police brutality. None of them are talking about the fact that police unions should just be dismantled altogether.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're not doing enough to kind of like build a propaganda campaign to make even older voters bother to come out for Biden, let alone like younger voters who are not motivated because they want the next president to be the one who's going to fix it all when that's not true. Whoever's in, we're going to have to fight to get them to do anything, as well as try to get more people out who shouldn't be in there.
That's true.
But
that's true.
But he doesn't seem to pick up any sort of proposals that people want. He just sticks to what he has. And
yeah. I don't know what tactic this is. I'm just really hoping.
Him and the Bernie Sanders camp did just announce a set of proposals that kind of splits the difference on where Biden was and where Bernie Sanders wanted to go. That included a couple big wins for some of the healthcare and other issues and financial issues that Elizabeth Warren was fighting for. So, that was in the news the other day. So I think they're trying. I just think that Trump is such a fucking disaster from day to day. I mean, he's just such a headline stealing, energy sucking, just succubus. That you can't listen to anything else. It's every day. It's, we have how many infections, or, he's pardoning fucking criminals, or it's just like it's every fucking day. There's something else that's just like, what the fuck,
It's true.
I mean, we can sit here right now and go back to every day of the calendar and say, oh, this was the day that this happened. Oh, this was the day that this happened. Oh, this was the day that this happened. It's like there's no break. It's just nonstop carnage of corruption. It's just, oh my fucking God, just get this guy out of the office. My God, please.
Yes. I agree.
But you know what? It is 7:55, so it's time for us to start winding this down. And the fact that I have some slow-cooked braised beef ribs ready for consumption has nothing to do with my desire to leave these podcasts and go to the kitchen. But first of all, I want to thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
How, please give everybody your social media stuff so they know where to find you.
Okay. I'm noyecomedy.com, NONYE comedy.com, and you can find all my socials there. I'm that Noye, NONYE. On Twitter, I'm Noni Fizzle on Instagram, NONEEFIZZLE. I probably should have streamlined everything. I didn't. I don't really care. But yeah, noyecomedy.com. You can find everything, find my shows and things like that. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I'll just talk to you about that afterwards. I'm like,
I'm here in Los Angeles. RonBushOnline.com is the website.
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram is ron.bush, BUSH, and the number 1. Yeah, I do shows out here all the time when able to, tour as much as possible when able to. Tie white men up in my closet and smack them around and feed them once a day, as much as possible.
So you're a dominatrix. That's cool. I'm trying to get into that.
No, I'm not a dominatrix. It's just a service I provide. They nickname me out here Gay Thanos. So
Thanos was already gay.
Let's be real.
I have a complete joke about it. He was totally gay.
Yeah.
Totally gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. He was a bald head daddy that did too much growth hormone at the gym, honey.
That's right.
Well, listen.
Why would you
Matt
want all those rainbow stones?
Exactly. Those rainbow wings. Matt Flynn, do you have any final words, Matt Flynn?
I'll say this and then goodbye, I guess. Back to the previous content. I feel like all the people who are running, including Biden now, what they should have done, even if it was a full of shit statement that meant nothing to them, they should have listed all of the political prisoners currently in American prisons and claimed and promised, even if it was a false promise, that they were going to pardon them when they become president. And that would have helped them dominate the news cycle and steal some of the airtime away from Trump owning most of the 24-hour news cycle.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
All
right. They should have done something like that. Even if it was just like an open letter about policy, anything.
Yeah. Well, I think time, right now Trump is busy burying himself with, fucking up the response to the virus and letting people die, and the ensuing soon to be collapse of our healthcare system. Mark my words, 2-3 weeks. And of course, the economic collapse that happens after that should be just around the beginning of election season. So let Trump keep doing what he's doing. And by the end of this month, since we're not doing the right things that we're supposed to be doing to save lives and reduce the spread, you're going to see a dramatic increase continue to happen, and that's not going to be good. And he'll get, as grandma's dying on the deathbed, all these rednecks that didn't realize he was fucking a snake oil salesman, we'll help vote him out of office. That's all we can do. And hope that he doesn't burn the country down in the process of getting out of office when Biden has to step in January 2021.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining. I mean, I'll reach out to both of you again to do other stuff. Bye, Noye. Bye, Ron.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.